lost the job or doesn't have a job,
yes,
and
you can access 25% of your fund if you have been out of employment for 3 months.
For 3 months?
Yes,
even
25%.
if you are not 50?
Even if you are not 50.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
Well, pension assets stands as at April 2017, stands at 6.5 trillion.
Yes.
So why is it that people are still having problems collecting their money? If this fund is a huge amount of money.
Well, that fund belongs to people in active employment and those who have retired. Your money, my money is part of that fund.
Okay, Chooks, before you explain that to us, we'll just take a short break, come back and continue this very interesting conversation.
Okay, welcome back. Mr. Oyekache, you were talking about Onyemachi. Sorry about that. Let's talk more now about, we've talked about the federal government employees or pensioners. Let's talk about the states.
Okay.
Some states recently, we've seen protests by pensioners. Are states also doing contributory pension scheme, or, you know, what is the situation at that level?
Okay. Now, our report revealed that of the 36 states, only 30 states have so far complied with the contributory pension scheme. And not that they have fully complied, they are at different levels of compliance. Some of them are just still registering with PENCOM, and some of them have yet to decide whether they should go with an app. There are several schemes anyway. So now the issues are...
Sorry, before you go on, does the law give them that leeway? You know, to either comply or not? Do they have a choice?
You know, the Pension Reform Act is a federal law, right? Now, states can choose to adopt it.
Okay.
So
or ignore it.
Yeah, the onus is now on PENCOM to convince states to key into it.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have some states that are yet to key into it, but we expect that all states will key into it eventually. Now, still, the same issue that play out in the federal side also play out at the state side. In fact, the truth is that it's even worse on the state side, because state governments have been finding it difficult to pay salaries of current employees.
Some people have even said that you get, for employees who are in employment
yes.
now, they remove the pensions from the salaries, and the pension plus the state government's contribution does not get to the PFS.
There's always a lag in making that contribution, in making the remittance to the state, to the PFAs. And sometimes it's based on cash being available, because we expect that the PENCOM are actually the ones that are supposed to drive compliance to ensure that as long as you're making deductions, you are going to remit. Now, well, that is on the part of PENCOM. But what we still see happen is that you may find a state who will not remit from January up to maybe June, and then in June they now remit a lump sum. Now that is a disservice to the employees, because they have been denied the interest, the gains on investment that they would have made for that 6-month window. Yeah. So I would say, well, they still remitted after all, but you also need to look at the gain that they would have made if those funds were in with the PFAs and they were invested and they would have gotten investment returns. Now we see those lag, we see it happen. Some states will not remit for a whole year, and then maybe in December they now remit the whole 12 months. So that happens.
My question will be, as an employee, can I decide that this is my PFA, just pay me my salary, I want to put my pension by myself?
Unfortunately, no.
Because if the situation is like this, you take my salary, it doesn't get to where it should get to, you don't put your own contribution, then what happens to me? Well,
what happens to you is that now there are rooms with PENCOM. PENCOM have several provisions where you can come and make complaints if your employer have made deductions and you've not gotten an alert. Now the idea is that you should get an alert at the end of the month from your PFA telling you that X amounts have been credited to your account. Now, if you are noticing deductions in your statement, in your financial statement, and you are not seeing any alert, you should complain to your PFA. Then your PFA should be the ones to tell you that your employer have not remitted. Then at that point, you can take it with the employer or take it with PENCOM. Now, PENCOM have certain statutory powers to go ahead and persecutes the employer in that regard.
Okay, we must start winding down now, but I have to give you a chance to talk about the verification exercise very, very briefly, because we're running out of time.
The verification exercise, we've been expecting it in Lagos, especially for the past 2 years, and nothing is happening. That will bring succor to those who are suffering. Because when you verify them, you now really actualize that they are genuine federal retirees. You pay them their entitlements.
And that they are alive.
They are alive. Then you pay them their entitlement, reinstate them back into the system. Now it is being politicized. People have been expending them for the past 2 years. We will come to Lagos. We are coming tomorrow. We are coming today. Forgetting that people are hungry and they are suffering. We are not talking about those people we are paying now. Those who are not on payroll at all, there are so many. And those are the people I was expecting government to be thinking of, say, we'll verify them immediately and bring their checks immediately. Bring their checks while coming. Because we cannot afford to keep them on the wrong run again. After waiting for about 10 years without entitlement, you now verify, you ask them to wait again.
Okay. Now, we've got to go. So, one sentence each. Final word.
Well,
the way forward. What are we going to do about these? Pensioners are dying every day. Some even die on the queue when they are waiting for verification, when they are waiting to be paid. This cannot be allowed to continue.
Okay. The way forward for the people under the old scheme will be for government to have the proper database of actual pensioners and then make statutory provisions to pay them. The way forward for the people under the contributory pension scheme is for the PFAs to prevail on government to ensure that the returns that they get on investment are enough to cover for inflation. Now, we notice that while our funds are growing nominally, the growth is not above inflation. So while the funds grow, the real value of the funds is reducing. Now, they need to put pressure on the government to ensure that the returns that they get on investment will be some basis point above inflation so that the real value of the fund will still be kept intact.
Comrade?
There's a adage that says, in the face of cruelty, if you are there and you keep quiet, you are an accomplice. So I'm seeing this opportunity to ask the acting president to ask questions. He should not keep quiet. He should ask questions. The 74 billion, where is it? Let them pay us our money. We need our arrears. Where's that money hanging? Who is holding on to it? Let them release our money so we can enjoy our money.
Comrade David Adodo, Chairman, Concerned Federal Pensioners of Nigeria, as well as Chuks Onyemachi, Financial Analyst. Thank you very much for coming to shed more light on this for us. I'm sure a lot of us are more educated on the matter of pensions right now. Sunrise will return after a short break. Please stay with us.